Hello everyone, welcome to Life Simplified. Just give me a thumbs up or a wave if you can see me and hear me. Just message me on the comment box. Alright, so let's begin. So our topic for today is bloom, where you're planted and you have to accept the land where you have also been planted. Okay, so in today's session I'm going to talk about few obstacles, few reasons what stops us from blooming where we have been planted. Okay, now the moment we understand or the moment the word bloom comes into our mind, आपके दिमाग में सबसे पहले क्या चीज आती है जब हम लोग ब्लूम शब्द सुनते हैं, या आपने जब ये लाइन देखी होगी एज द टॉपिक ब्लूम वेयर यू आर प्लांटेड. सो व्हेन वी थिंक अबाउट द वर्ड ब्लूम, व्हाट इज द विजन और व्हाट इज इट दैट कम्स टू योर माइंड? दिमाग में सबसे पहले क्या आता है? व्हाट डू यू थिंक दैट कम्स टू योर माइंड व्हेन you hear or when you think about the word bloom? So what comes into my mind, the word bloom is nothing but manifesting the greatness within us. Grandmaster Chow very beautifully says that manifest your greatness, which also means that हम लोग सबके अंदर we all have greatness within us and we all have the capacity or we all have the potential to bloom. लेकिन कुछ ऐसे ऑब्स्टिकल्स आ जाते हैं हमारे लाइफ में, या कुछ ऐसे हिंड्रेंसेस हो जाते हैं, मे बी इन आवर माइंडसेट और मे बी इन आवर सराउंडिंग्स, जिसकी वजह से हम लोग ब्लूम नहीं कर पाते हैं ना. अगर आप एक प्लांट का उदाहरण लेंगे, इफ यू टेक एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ अ प्लांट और अ फ्लावर, सपोज आपने एक आपके गार्डन में आपको एक फ्लावर उगाना है, यू वांट अ फ्लावर टू बी ग्रोन इन योर गार्डन. तो अगर आपको एक फ्लावर को ग्रो कराना है, तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक विल बी द की ऑब्स्टिकल्स जिसका आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा ताकि आपका फ्लावर ग्रो होने से कोई रोक नहीं सके. इट शुड नॉट बी स्टॉप्ड फ्रॉम ब्लूमिंग. ओके, सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक कुड बी द की ऑब्स्टिकल्स जिसकी वजह से प्लांट जो है वो ठीक से ग्रो नहीं कर पा रहा है? Okay, now I have just noted down a few points. So the first one which I feel जिसके वजह से एक प्लांट ब्लूम नहीं कर सकता, और let's take our own example जिसकी वजह से हम लोग ब्लूम नहीं कर सकते. पहला obstacle, we are going to talk about five, and then आप सोच सकते हैं कि which one relates to you the most, and then you can maybe change your mindset ताकि उस ऑब्स्टिकल को आप अपने अंदर से बाहर निकाल सकें, and then you allow yourself or your soul to bloom. So the first obstacle that becomes a hindrance in allowing our souls to bloom is not accepting what? सबसे पहला, not accepting your physical body, not accepting your personality, not accepting your mental body. Those who have done pranic healing, maybe you can relate to the word mental body. Basically, not accepting your vehicles. We are all souls, we realize that. लेकिन as souls, जैसे एक सीड जो है, एक फ्लावर का जो सीड है वो जमीन में प्लांट किया जाता है और उसको उसी जमीन में ग्रो करना पड़ता है. उसी तरह से we as souls, we have been planted in this physical body. We have been planted in an emotional body. We have been planted in a mental body. और अगर हम लोग ये जो हमारे vehicles है या ये जो हमारे devices है, यहाँ हमारे means I'm talking identifying ourselves as a soul. अगर हम लोग अपने आप को soul समझते हैं और ये जो हमारा शरीर है ये समझ लीजिए हमारा device है, और इस device को अगर हम लोग accept नहीं करते हैं, then it is almost like a fight. Imagine there is a flower and there is a land, लेकिन जो फ्लावर है वो अपने लैंड को ही एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहा है. उसको लग रहा है कि मेरा ये लैंड गलत है और वो सोच रहा है कि नहीं, आई शुड बी प्लांटेड समवेयर एल्स. सो विल दैट flower be able to grow? बाय द वे, अगर आप सोचोगे कि हम कहीं और प्लांट हो जाए तो हो सकता है कि हमारी लाइफ सही हो जाएगी, वहां पर अगर आपको यही लैंड में आप ग्रो नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, इवन इफ यू गेट शिफ्टेड टू अनदर लैंड, यू विल स्टिल हैव ऑब्स्टिकल्स, सम अदर ऑब्स्टिकल्स. सो वेरेवर यू आर प्लांटेड, हर जगह पर कुछ ना कुछ ऑब्स्टिकल तो आने ही वाले हैं. सो पहला ऑब्स्टिकल इज नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग. नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग व्हाट? नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ थिंग्स. वन इज योर व्हीकल्स. व्हीकल्स में आ गया आपका फिजिकल बॉडी, आपका नेचर, आपकी पर्सनालिटी. बहुत सारे लोग अपने आप को ही एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं. इनफैक्ट द पाथ टू ग्रोथ, द पाथ टू ब्लूमिंग स्टार्ट्स फर्स्ट बाय एक्सेप्टिंग ourselves, accepting who we are, knowing our strengths, knowing our weaknesses and embracing them. So पहला ऑब्स्टिकल जो हम लोग को ब्लूम करने से रोकता है इज नॉन एक्सेप्टेंस. एंड ऑब्वियसली द ऑपोजिट इज फर्स्ट लेट अस स्टार्ट बाय एक्सेप्टिंग आवरसेल्व्स. एक्सेप्ट. आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कि आप अपने आप को एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं? चेक कि मन ही मन जब हम लोग अपने आप से बातें करते हैं, द सेल्फ टॉक दैट यू डू यू ऑलवेज कंप्लेन? द ऑपोजिट ऑफ एक्सेप्टेंस इज रिजेक्शन और एन एटीट्यूड टू कंप्लेन. आर यू ऑलवेज कंप्लेनिंग? ओ मेरा तो नेचर ऐसा ही है, मेरा तो नेचर मेरे पापा पे चला गया है, उसकी वजह से ऐसा है, मेरा तो ऐसा है, मेरा तो वैसा है. सो आर यू कॉन्स्टेंटली क्रिबिंग, कंप्लेनिंग टू योर सेल्फ, complaining to God or complaining to universe and not being able to accept who you are? पहला चीज is by acceptance. First, बिना अपने आप को एक्सेप्ट किए हम लोग ब्लूम कर ही नहीं सकते. Blooming is we cannot manifest our greatness if we don't accept ourselves. Now, first one is to accept yourself. Simultaneously, you also have to accept. जैसे जैसे आप खुद को एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, फिर धीरे धीरे स्टार्ट एक्सेप्टिंग द पीपल अराउंड. सो पहले एक्सेप्ट योरसेल्फ, देन द सेकेंड टाइप ऑफ एक्सेप्टेंस मीन्स अपने होराइजन को हम इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं. तो जैसे आप अपने आप को एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, देन योर होराइजन हैज टू एक्सपैंड इन एक्सेप्टिंग योर फैमिली, एक्सेप्टिंग द पीपल अराउंड यू, accepting your parents, accepting your spouse, accepting your children, accepting that if I am here, I am planted here, I am here for a reason. इसमें हो सकता है कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स है, कुछ कॉम्प्लिकेशंस है, लेकिन अगर हम लोग इसे एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करेंगे तो कॉम्प्लिकेशन सॉल्व करने के स्थिति में ही हम आ नहीं पाएंगे. बिकॉज प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना इज स्टिल स्टेप 2, बट स्टेप 1 इज टू जस्ट एक्सेप्ट दैट यस, दिस इज द बेस्ट possible that I could have got. This is the best possible that I have, and I accept this. Acceptance also comes by having faith in God, having faith in the universe that I have got all that is best possible for me, and having faith that yes, this is mine and I accept it. तो मन ही मन जब भी आप आपके फैमिली को रिजेक्ट करते हैं, या मन ही मन जब आप आपके आसपास के सर्कमस्टांसेस को रिजेक्ट करते हैं, दैट ऑल्सो मीन्स दिस बिकम्स अनदर ऑब्स्टिकल विच स्टॉप्स अस फ्रॉम ब्लूमिंग. ओके, सो वी नीड टू एक्सेप्ट द लैंड वेयर वी आर प्लांटेड. तो फ्लावर तो ब्लूम तभी करेगा जब जिस जमीन में उसको गाड़ा गया है, उस जमीन को भी वो एक्सेप्ट करे. तो circumstances को accept करना means having faith that all the people who have been attracted into my life, I accept them. आप जैसे ही ऐसा सोचेंगे, you will automatically see, you will start having so much of peace within just by telling yourself, you try this, try it with me. Just mentally say, I accept myself the way I am. I accept. You know, keep affirming to this to yourself. Keep affirming 4 to 5 times. I accept myself the way I am. I accept. Now you say, I accept my family the way it is. I accept all the people whom I have attracted in my life. I accept this, whether good or bad. But I accept. I embrace it. I accept it. I accept my vehicles. I accept my family. I accept the city where I have been planted. I accept the culture where I have been planted. I accept the country where I have been planted. I accept the circumstances in which I have been planted. I accept the weather in which I am growing. I accept that. I accept my land. I accept my weather. I accept my surroundings. I accept the people around me. I'm at peace with all that I have attracted. I embrace and I take responsibility for all that I have attracted. Gently open your eyes. Okay, so this was the first one. How did you feel, by the way? Did you feel peaceful inside? The more peaceful you feel, the easier for you to accept. And then the more you accept, the easier for you to fight the obstacles. बिना एक्सेप्ट किए हम लोग नेक्स्ट स्टेज पर जा ही नहीं पाते हैं कि हमको इस ऑब्स्टिकल को सॉल्व करने के लिए पहले उसको अपनाना होगा कि नहीं ये मेरा है, दिस लैंड इज माइन, दिस इज माइन, embrace it. Okay, so that was the first one. Now let's go to the second one. The second obstacle which stops us from blooming is reacting. Reacting to what? Reacting, like जो भी चीज हमारे हिसाब से नहीं होती है, we react. Now going back to the example of the image which we had put in this session, there's an image of a flower which is in a ground. Now अगर कोई plant है, उसको उगना है, will there be changes in weather or not throughout the year? कभी बारिश होगी, कभी आंधी आएगी, कभी हो सकता है कि कोई उसको पौधे को पानी देना भूल जाएगा, कभी हो सकता है that the sun is very bright, कभी कभी the sun is not bright at all. There could be various obstacles. So the second step, the first one was acceptance, the second one is non-reaction. Now we have to understand that the weathers will change, the surroundings will change, the circumstances will have seasons. हर एक सीजन में अगर हम लोग सरवाइव कर सकते हैं तभी हम ब्लूम कर सकते हैं. आप देखेंगे कि जो फ्लावर्स होते हैं वो सीजन एक ही सीजन में ब्लूम करते हैं, लेकिन इसका मतलब नहीं है कि बाकी सीजन्स में वो मर जाते हैं. वी हैव टू लर्न टू सर्वाइव इन द डिफरेंट फेजेस. सो कभी विंटर है तो कभी समर है तो कभी रेनी सीजन है तो कभी सन बहुत ब्राइट है. सो देयर आर वेरियस सीजन्स. द प्लांट कैन ओनली ब्लूम इफ इट सर्वाइव्स द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सीजन्स. प्लांट ये नहीं बोल सकता, फ्लावर ये नहीं बोल सकता कि मेरा तो ब्लूमिंग टाइम विंटर में है तो बस हम विंटर में ही करेंगे और बाकी दिन they don't do anything. It's not possible. Similarly, we have to learn to survive and sail through the different seasons in life. Life mein there are different types of, life is cyclical. Life is cyclical. Har samay, there are times when we have to work a lot. There are times where we have to rest a lot. There are times that money comes. There are times that money goes. There are times that people are difficult around. There are times that the same people are very loving around. Are we sometimes? The test is just to survive. But अगर हम लोग रिएक्शन मोड में चले जाते हैं तो सर्वाइव करने के लिए जो एनर्जी चाहिए वो एनर्जी का बहुत ज़्यादा लॉस हो जाता है. A lot of energy is lost simply because when we react. And when we don't have faith, we tend to react. Like I'll just share a small story. This story, by the way, this is a small example which had happened to me only actually. So there was once, me and my husband, we were traveling. We had gone for a holiday. And when we went for a holiday, when we were coming back to Calcutta, we had a hopping flight. Okay, so we had to change a flight from one destination to another destination. So then what happened? The first flight, it got delayed. Now obviously if the first flight gets delayed a lot, the chances are we will miss the second flight. And if we were missing the second flight, we were about to lose to 1 full day, would have got lost in just traveling. So again, this is a common situation which happens to many of us. So what happened is, the moment we got to know that we are, the flight is, they're going to miss the second flight because our first flight is getting delayed. Obviously, we got a little irritable, but then we reminded each other, okay, let's not get irritable. Let's not react. Things are not happening the way we planned. तो react करके तो कुछ होगा नहीं. Let's relax. So we just thought, okay, let's relax. I mean, what is the best we could do? So जब season change होता है, चीजें जब अपने हिसाब से नहीं होती है, we tend to react. So that time we remind ourselves, okay, it's okay, let's not react. Let's just figure out what is the best possible. We went to the counters, we figured out what is the best thing possible. Jo bhi. Then we got a flight after a few hours, and then we reached to the second destination, which was Mumbai. So we reached Mumbai. And when we reached Mumbai, from there to come to Calcutta, we had to be at the airport till like 3 in the midnight, like रात में 11 बजे से 10 बजे से लेकर के 3 बजे तक we had to be there. Again, it's irritable, and we thought, okay, our next day is lost. But guess what? But we just kept on reminding each other, let's not react. Let's not react. Whatever is happening for good. We don't know why it is happening. We are missing out on every step. And, we don't know. So we thought, okay, let's not react. So we had a choice, either to get irritable, to react, and think about all the worst things possible if we reach 1 day late to our destination. Instead of that, we thought, okay, let's enjoy, let's chill, let's relax, let's be there. Now, guess what? When we were in Mumbai, because we were there, we just happened to call a friend in Mumbai. And when we called a friend, we just realized that friend said, hey, where are you guys? We said, we are at the airport, we're stuck, and we have to be here till 2 in the night. And we just thought of remembering you, calling you. Now, this friend, just to cut the story short, his friend was also happened to be a pranic healer, and he was having dinner with one of our very senior mentors whom we had not met for about 4 to 5 years. And he said, and they were just, in a hotel which was 5 minutes away from the airport. So immediately this friend of ours, they said, hey, why don't you guys join us? We are having dinner, please join us for dinner and you can meet him. And we respect this mentor a lot, and he was there. And we joined him for dinner. And in that dinner, we had certain discussions, and we actually got answer for something that we were getting stuck a bit in life. And, it turned out to be almost like a gift. We thought that, wow, thank God that our flights got delayed. So in this, what I understood is, because in small situations, जब चीजें हमारे हिसाब से नहीं होती है, and when we remind ourselves, okay, let's not react, something will happen, it's okay, let's not react. तो जब चीजें हमारे हिसाब से नहीं हो रही है, और अगर हम लोग रिएक्ट नहीं करते हैं, this actually sometimes turns out to be like a gift where you wanted something and that just happens. वो बोलते हैं ना कि कभी-कभी भगवान को भी आपके लिए सोचने का मौका दीजिए. So बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें होती है जो हम लोग ने प्लान की थी, हमारे प्लान के हिसाब से नहीं हो रही है. The lesson at that time, and if you want to continue to bloom, the lesson at time is to not react and just survive. Because if you're not reacting, you will have intuition coming in. अगर आप रिएक्ट कर लोगे तो उस सिचुएशन में आप फ्रस्ट्रेटेड रहोगे, और आप क्या थॉट बनाओगे? आप यही विचार बनाएंगे, ओ माय गॉड, मेरे साथ इतना बुरा हो रहा है. बट इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट, इफ यू टेल योरसेल्फ कि नो, इट्स ओके, आई एक्सेप्ट द चेंज, I accept that plans are not going as per my way, and let's see what happens. Something nice will happen. उस समय थोड़ा सा faith अगर आप अपने अंदर hold कर लेंगे, you will actually have a bank of stories in your life, and you will actually next time say, I have often seen, at least in my life, next time मेरे हिसाब से कुछ नहीं होता है. In fact, I get excited because I feel, okay, God is now going to intervene and something amazing will happen, because it is not going to be as per my little brain, but the brain of the universe. And that will always think positive for me. So non-reaction and non-complaining attitude also means that अगर हमारे हिसाब से कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, trust the universe, trust God, trust your surroundings. If things are changing and not moving as per your plans, have trust that God wants you to be successful. Have faith that the universe wants you to do well, and the universe is your friend. not your enemy. बहुत बार सबकॉन्शियसली हम लोग यही सोच लेते हैं कि वो भगवान मुझे क्यों पनिश कर रहे हैं. God is our well wisher. And when God or universe is making some changes, we need to have faith as children of God कि ये जो भी change हो रहा है या जो भी change plan हो रहा है, it is good for me. Let me have faith and let me relax and let things unfold. So वहाँ पर by not reacting and by holding on to some patience, let's allow things to unfold. When we allow things to unfold, you will be amazed how amazing thing happens. I'm sure many of you might have experienced this, and I would love to hear this. Please put it in the comment box. Please feel free to share any short story like the one which I shared, because ये सब से क्या होता है, हम लोग को एक दूसरे में विश्वास हो जाता है कि नहीं, क्योंकि मेरे हिसाब से कोई चीज़ नहीं हो रही थी, मैंने faith रखा, and with time things when unfolded it turned out to be good for me. So कभी कभी कुछ मिसफॉर्च्यून होता है, लेकिन वो मिसफॉर्च्यून हम लोग का नैरो विजन में दिखाई देता है. अगर हम लोग फेथ रखेंगे और उसमें रिएक्ट नहीं करेंगे, इंट्यूशन विल कीप कमिंग एंड यू विल ऑटोमेटिकली बी गाइडेड to something which will be amazing for you. If I start sharing stories, I will finish the whole day actually. Every time in my life personally, I have seen every time when things have not moved as per the way I wanted, कुछ देर तक खराब लगता है. उस समय अपने आप को जब भी मैंने याद दिलाया कि okay, don't react, relax, something nice will happen, let's pause, wait, let God take over and have faith. Reminder, अपने आप को remind करना पड़ता है. Faith रखिए in the universe, in God, and something nice will unfold. So this is something which I wanted to share as a second point. Very important. Do not react when things are not moving as per your plans. In fact, get excited कि things आपके हिसाब से नहीं चल रही है. That means God is intervening and something amazing will happen which will allow you to bloom. And always remember, God or universe wants us to bloom, wants us to evolve, wants us to manifest our greatness, and let's have faith in that. Okay, so this was the second point. The third one is comparison is another very big obstacle. Comparison क्यों एक बड़ा obstacle है? Comparison इसलिए बड़ा obstacle है क्योंकि वो जो फ्लावर है, वो जिस लैंड में है, वो बोलते हैं ना, द ग्रास इज ऑलवेज ग्रीनर ऑन द अदर साइड. सो जब भी हम लोग अपने आप को किसी से भी कंपेयर करते हैं, वी कैन नॉट कंपेयर आवरसेल्व्स विद एनीवन. रिमेंबर, अ रोज is a rose. If a rose tries to become like a lily, the rose will always be unsuccessful, will never bloom. If you want to bloom, you have to really stop comparing and be honest to yourself, be true to yourself, and be who you are. When you compare yourself to anyone else, when you imitate to anyone else, आप जब किसी और को कॉपी करने की कोशिश करते हैं, तो it's like, you know, it's like there is a cricket team. In a cricket team, a batsman cannot compare himself with a bowler, you know. So be good at what you are, be honest to yourself, be good, and don't compare yourself with anybody else, because if you do that, you will never be able to realize on who you are. Like एक रोज है, वो अगर यही कंपेयर करता रहेगा कि ओ माय गॉड, आई वांट टू बी लाइक अ लिली, आई डोंट लुक लाइक अ लिली, आई वांट टू बी लाइक अ लिली, तो रोज कभी ये रियलाइज ही नहीं कर पाएगा कि वो एक रोज फ्लावर है. So for a rose to realize that it is a rose, it has to stop looking at lily. It has to stop comparing with another flower. Every flower has its own fragrance, has its own color. We have to allow that to bloom. So we are those flowers, and we need to have faith that we all have our own flavor, we have our own color. Of course, we can get inspired by other people, but never try to become somebody that you are not. So उसके अंदर बहुत self honesty चाहिए. We need to have a lot of self honesty in realizing who we are and sticking to what we are and believing in ourselves. One way why we don't believe in ourselves is when we compare ourselves to somebody else. Every person has skills. Every person has the power or the capacity to become a great person, provided we don't let this obstacle of comparison to come in. And a very beautiful saying that the grass is always greener on the other side. So you have to check yourself. You have to check yourself. Do you catch yourself saying कि अरे वो तो बहुत अच्छे घर में पैदा हो गया इसीलिए वो successful है? This is comparison. If you catch yourself saying, oh my God, I could have done this also, but my husband doesn't allow me to do this. This is comparison. Oh, I would have been so good. I would have done that had my father given me better education. This is comparison. All these are simple examples where our mind, where we are thinking that the grass is green on the other side. अगर मेरे पास भी वो होता तो आज मैं भी वहाँ होती. If you be in this, अगर आप इस mindset में रहेंगे, I'm sorry to say, you will never be able to bloom, because you will always be in a comparison mode and you will never realize what seed you have within, what strength you have within, because you're constantly looking at somebody else, but you're not looking at yourself. You're not looking at what is it that you can bloom within you. So comparison, comparing your life to somebody else's life, comparing your skills to somebody else's skills, comparing your circumstances. बहुत लोग होते जो बहुत कंप्लेन करते हैं, अरे मेरे पास ऐसा होता तो हम भी ऐसे हो जाते, मेरे पास ऐसा नहीं था इसलिए हम ये नहीं किए, ये मेरे पास वो, उसके पास ये, मेरे पास ये. This is too much of comparison in our heads, where we are only feeling that the grass or the land, उस आदमी का लैंड अच्छा है, मेरे तो लैंड में ही खराबी है. It is one way of telling God that you have made mistakes. I am good, you are wrong. और इस mindset में हम कभी bloom नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि हमको हमारी जमीन में ही विश्वास नहीं है, क्योंकि हमको दूसरे की जमीन ज़्यादा उपजाऊ लग रही है, दूसरों की जमीन ज़्यादा हमको प्रोडक्टिव लग रही है, और where you are planted, उस जमीन में, उस लैंड में ही आप विश्वास नहीं करोगे तो हम कैसे bloom करेंगे? We are in that land and we have to trust the land and we have to believe in that land, and we have to not compare our land with anybody else's land, and also have faith and confidence that this land is the best and just the right land for me, and this is the land where I will bloom. और ऐसा ही हम लोग को अपने आप को भी बोलना है कि नहीं, मेरे को अपने लाइफ का पर्पस अचीव करने के लिए दिस इज जस्ट द राइट सेटअप फॉर मी. ये सही सेटअप है मेरे लिए, यही फैमिली के वजह से मैं ग्रो कर पाऊंगी, यही सर्कमस्टांसेस में मैं ग्रो कर पाऊंगी, यही इवेंट्स में ग्रो कर पाऊंगी. एंड थैंक गॉड फॉर व्हाट यू हैव गॉट. ट्रस्ट योर लैंड. हमको एक दूसरे को, आपके फैमिली मेंबर्स को, अपने आसपास में गिव दैट कॉन्फिडेंस कि नो, दिस इज जस्ट द राइट हस्बैंड दैट आई कुड हैव गॉट, दिस इज जस्ट द राइट वाइफ विच आई कुड हैव गॉट, दिस इज जस्ट द राइट प्लेस. अगर आप ऐसे विचार बनाएंगे, एंड इफ यू डोंट कंपेयर योरसेल्फ विद अदर्स, you will bloom, without any hindrances. You will bloom, and you will bloom beautifully. So trust the land. Don't compare your land with anybody else's land. Don't compare your circumstances with anybody else's circumstances. Comparison will only kill you within. It will not allow you to bloom. So this is the third obstacle. Okay, now the fourth one. By the way, today's session may go a little longer, so please bear with